Welcome to TT-Buddhism, a place where we share the profound wisdom of Buddhism to help you cultivate peace, clarity, and true happiness. In today's fast-paced world, our minds are often trapped in endless cycles of overthinking, analyzing past conversations, worrying about the future, and holding on to thoughts that bring us stress. Have you ever found yourself replaying a moment again and again, wondering what someone meant by their words or actions? Have you ever waited anxiously for a reply, only to let your mind create countless unnecessary worries? If so, you are not alone. Many of us struggle with overthinking and attachment, and often we don't even realize how much these habits drain our energy and peace of mind. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from clinging to thoughts, to people, to expectations. The more we hold on, the more we suffer. But what if you could break free? What if you could learn to let go, to embrace life as it is, and to find serenity even in the midst of uncertainty? In this video, we will explore the Buddhist perspective on overthinking, attachment, and letting go, helping you understand why the mind clings and how you can free yourself from this mental burden. By the end, you will have practical insights and tools to cultivate a lighter, more peaceful state of being. So stay with us until the end, and if you find this message meaningful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to TT-Buddhism to continue your journey toward inner peace. Now, let's begin. Overthinking, the invisible burden. Have you ever caught yourself lost in endless thoughts, analyzing a situation from every possible angle? Maybe you replay a conversation in your head, wondering if you said the wrong thing. Or perhaps you dwell on a text message that went unanswered, creating countless possible reasons why someone didn't respond. This mental loop of overthinking is exhausting, yet many of us fall into it without even realizing it. Overthinking is like carrying a heavy bag that you refuse to put down. The longer you hold it, the more it drains your energy. But here's the truth. Most of what we think about is not even real. Our minds create stories, assumptions, and worst-case scenarios that often have nothing to do with reality. The more we overthink, the more we suffer. Not because of what actually happened, but because of the meaning we attach to it. Buddhism teaches that our thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They come and go, constantly changing. But instead of letting them pass, we often grab onto them, trying to control or make sense of every little detail. The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This means that whatever we focus on, we give power to. If we focus on fear, insecurity, or doubts, they grow stronger. But if we learn to let go, our minds become lighter and freer. One common mistake people make is confusing overthinking with caring. They believe that worrying about someone means they care deeply, but in reality, true care is light, peaceful, and freeing, while overthinking is heavy, painful, and draining. Imagine someone walking past you without greeting you. If you overthink, you might assume they are upset with you, leading to unnecessary anxiety. But what if they were just distracted or lost in their own thought? In most cases, it has nothing to do with you. So why do we overthink? Because the mind craves certainty. It wants to predict outcomes, control situations, and seek reassurance. But life is unpredictable, and trying to control every detail only leads to frustration. Instead of wasting energy on endless thoughts, we must train ourselves to recognize when we are overthinking and consciously let go. Take a moment now and reflect. Are you holding on to unnecessary thoughts that are making you suffer? If so, ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's not serving you, then it's time to release it. Only by letting go can we find true inner peace. Attachment, the root of suffering. Why do we suffer when we think about someone too much? Why does our mind keep replaying the same person, the same situation, over and over again? The answer is simple: attachment. Attachment is the emotional grip we place on people, ideas, and outcomes. The stronger we hold on, the more we suffer when things do not go as expected. Imagine holding a rope tightly. The harder you grip, the more it burns your hands. But if you simply let go, the pain stops instantly. This is what attachment does to us. It creates suffering, not because of the situation itself, but because we refuse to release it. In Buddhism, attachment is seen as one of the greatest causes of suffering. When we become attached to someone, we start expecting them to act a certain way, to stay in our lives, to fulfill our desires. But when reality does not match our expectations, we feel hurt, betrayed, or abandoned. Think about it. Have you ever waited anxiously for someone's response, only to feel disappointed when they took too long or didn't reply the way you hoped? Have you ever overanalyzed someone's words, trying to find a deeper meaning that may not even exist? This is attachment in action. You are not just thinking about them. You are clinging to how you think they should behave, to how they should feel about you. But here's the truth. No one belongs to you. No one is here to meet your expectations. Everyone is living their own life, lost in their own thoughts, dealing with their own struggles. Buddha once said, the root of suffering is attachment. If you can learn to detach, you can learn to be free. But what does detachment really mean? Some people mistakenly think detachment means becoming cold or indifferent, but that is not true. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to control. It means you stop demanding that people or situations fit into your idea of how they should be. Imagine a beautiful flower. You admire it, appreciate its beauty, and enjoy its fragrance. But if you try to pluck it and keep it forever, it withers and dies. This is what we do with people. We don't just appreciate them. We try to hold on, to control, to possess. And in doing so, we create suffering for ourselves. So ask yourself, are you holding on too tightly to someone or something that is causing you pain? If so, what would happen if you simply let go? True peace comes not from holding on, but from learning to release what no longer serves you. Attachment, the root of suffering. Why do we suffer when we think about someone too much? Why does our mind keep replaying the same person, the same situation, over and over again? The answer is simple: attachment. Attachment is the emotional grip we place on people, ideas, and outcomes. The stronger we hold on, the more we suffer when things do not go as expected. Imagine holding a rope tightly. The harder you grip, the more it burns your hands. But if you simply let go, the pain stops instantly. This is what attachment does to us. It creates suffering, not because of the situation itself, but because we refuse to release it. In Buddhism, attachment is seen as one of the greatest causes of suffering. When we become attached to someone, we start expecting them to act a certain way, to stay in our lives, to fulfill our desires. But when reality does not match our expectations, we feel hurt, betrayed, or abandoned. Think about it. Have you ever waited anxiously for someone's response, only to feel disappointed when they took too long or didn't reply the way you hoped? Have you ever overanalyzed someone's words, trying to find a deeper meaning that may not even exist? This is attachment in action. You are not just thinking about them. You are clinging to how you think they should behave, to how they should feel about you. But here's the truth. No one belongs to you. No one is here to meet your expectations. Everyone is living their own life, lost in their own thoughts, dealing with their own struggles. Buddha once said, the root of suffering is attachment. If you can learn to detach, you can learn to be free. But what does detachment really mean? Some people mistakenly think detachment means becoming cold or indifferent, but that is not true. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to control. It means you stop demanding that people or situations fit into your idea of how they should be. Imagine a beautiful flower. You admire it, appreciate its beauty, and enjoy its fragrance. But if you try to pluck it and keep it forever, it withers and dies. This is what we do with people. We don't just appreciate them. We try to hold on, to control, to possess. And in doing so, we create suffering for ourselves. So ask yourself, are you holding on too tightly to someone or something that is causing you pain? If so, what would happen if you simply let go? True peace comes not from holding on, but from learning to release what no longer serves you. The illusion of control. Have you ever wished that people would act exactly as you expected? Have you ever tried to change someone's feelings or influence how they see you? If so, you have fallen into the illusion of control. Many people believe that if they think hard enough, worry enough, or analyze enough, they can control the outcome of a situation. But the truth is, control is nothing more than an illusion. In reality, you cannot control how others feel about you. You cannot dictate their emotions, their choices, or their actions. People act based on their own thoughts, experiences, and emotions, most of which have nothing to do with you. But the mind tricks us into believing that if we just try harder, if we overthink, if we seek validation, if we anticipate every possible scenario, we can influence how others behave. This is why we suffer. Imagine you are holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, it stays. This is how life works. The more you try to force things, the more you lose them. The more you let go, the more peace you find. A Zen master once taught this lesson using a simple experiment. A student asked, "How can I make someone stay in my life?" The master handed him a bowl of water and said, "Hold it." The student held it carefully. Then the master said, "Now tighten your grip." As the student squeezed, the water spilled everywhere. The master smiled. "You see, the harder you try to hold on, the more you lose." This is what happens when we try to control people, situations, or relationships. We think that by holding on tightly, we can keep things the way we want. But in reality, the more we try to control, the more we create resistance. Buddhism teaches that life is like a flowing river. You can either fight against the current and exhaust yourself, or you can let go and flow with it. Control is an illusion because nothing in life is permanent. People change, situations shift. No matter how much you analyze, worry, or prepare, life will unfold in its own way. So ask yourself, are you trying to control something that is beyond your power? What would happen if you simply let go and trusted life to unfold naturally? When you release the need for control, you will finally experience true peace. Practicing letting go. Letting go is not about giving up or becoming indifferent. It is about freeing yourself from unnecessary suffering. Many people fear that if they let go, they will lose something important. But in reality, holding on too tightly is what causes pain, not the act of letting go itself. The first step to letting go is awareness. You must recognize when you are clinging to a thought, a person, or an outcome. Ask yourself, am I holding on to this thought because it is helping me, or is it only causing me distress? If it brings you peace, let it stay, but if it makes you anxious, it is time to release it. The second step is breathing and mindfulness. When you feel overwhelmed by thoughts, take a deep breath. Focus on the present moment. The mind loves to wander into the past or worry about the future, but peace is only found in the now. Whenever you find yourself trapped in overthinking, the third step is taking action instead of dwelling on thoughts. Instead of replaying past events or worrying about what might happen, engage in something meaningful. Exercise, meditate, read, or help someone in need. When your mind is busy with positive actions, it has less space for unnecessary worries. A powerful practice in Buddhism is accepting impermanence. Everything in life changes, your emotions, relationships, and circumstances. No matter how much you try to control them, they will evolve in ways you cannot predict. If you learn to embrace change instead of resisting it, you will suffer less. Think of a flowing river. If you try to stop the water, it will overwhelm you. But if you try to stop the water, it will carry you forward effortlessly. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you care without attachment, love without possession, and appreciate without fear of loss. True freedom comes when you understand that you do not need to hold on to everything to be happy. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What would happen if you finally let it go? When you release the burden of attachment, you create space for peace, clarity, and a life filled with true joy. Living lightly like flowing water. Buddhism teaches us to live like water, soft, adaptable, yet powerful. Water does not resist, it flows. It does not cling to the rocks in its path, it moves around them effortlessly. The more we resist life's natural flow, the more we suffer. But when we embrace change and let go of unnecessary attachments, we experience true freedom. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with letting go is the fear of uncertainty. We cling to people, situations, and expectations because they make us feel secure. But this security is an illusion. Everything in life is impermanent. Your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, and even the people you love. No matter how much you try to hold on to them, they will change. The more you accept this truth, the lighter you will feel. Think about a tree in autumn. Its leaves turn golden, then brown, and eventually fall. The tree does not resist. It does not try to hold on to its leaves forever. It lets go, knowing that in time, new leaves will grow. What if we could live like that? What if we could appreciate what we have in the present without fearing the inevitable changes of life? Many of us overthink and attach ourselves to memories, people, or situations, believing that holding on will somehow bring us happiness. But in reality, attachment creates suffering, while letting go brings peace. Overthinking about someone or something is like trying to grasp smoke with your hands. The more you try to hold on, the faster it slips away. Buddha taught that true peace comes from non-attachment. This does not mean we should stop loving or caring. It means we should love freely, without trying to control or possess. Imagine a bird sitting on a branch. It does not cling to the branch, fearing it might break. It sits lightly, ready to fly at any moment. That is how we should live, light, free, and unattached. So, ask yourself, are you resisting the natural flow of life? Are you holding on to something that is no longer serving you? Instead of fearing change, embrace it. Instead of grasping tightly, open your hands. The more you let go, the more space you create for peace, joy, and new experiences. Like water, flow with life, not against it, and you will find a deep sense of serenity that no external thing can ever take away. Embracing peace through letting go. At the heart of Buddhism lies a simple yet powerful truth. Happiness is not found in holding on, but in learning to let go. The more we cling to people, expectations, and the past, the more we suffer. But when we choose to release control and embrace life as it is, we find true freedom and inner peace. Letting go does not mean forgetting or not caring. It means loving without attachment, appreciating without fear, and trusting that life unfolds exactly as it should. Just as the ocean does not cling to the waves, we too must learn to let experiences, emotions, and people flow in and out of our lives naturally. The tighter we hold on to something, the more we create suffering for ourselves. But when we surrender to life's ever-changing nature, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. So take a moment to reflect. What are you holding on to that is weighing you down? What would happen if you simply let go? The moment you stop resisting life, you create space for peace, joy, and clarity. True happiness is not found in control, but in trust. Trusting that what is meant for you will stay, and what is not will naturally fade away. If this message resonates with you, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever struggled with letting go? How did you overcome it? And if you found this lesson valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to TT-Buddhism for more wisdom on cultivating inner peace. Remember, peace is always within reach. You just have to let go.